Hello, friends. Good Erev Rosh Hashanah. As we're getting ready for the big day, I'd like to share with you one piece of the liturgy that we'll be saying over the next 2 days, which really captures the very essence of our spiritual question that we need to ask ourselves and that we're really coming through Rosh Hashanah to really clarify. After every section of the Musaf, we blow the shofar. That's the main event, right? Hearing the shofar. And you can see here that after we blow the shofar, Tekiah Shvarim Trua Tekiah, each time we'll say these two paragraphs. Today is the conception of the world. Today, all creative beings stand to be judged, whether as children or as servants. This is the question that we have to ask. Are we God's children or are we God's servants? Now, they're both to some degree true, right? We have a whole set of requirements, instructions, commandments that were given by God, marching orders. Humans are appointed by God to be the gardeners of his garden. We have a job to do. And so if we're standing before Hashem as his servants, as his employees, so he's going to have a day for performance analysis. How well have we done our job? How faithfully have we done our job? Have we really carried it out? Have we used our time on the clock? It's all about a coldness, but a sense of how well have we done our job? How well have we performed? And if that's the case, so we ask Hashem, our eyes are fixed on you until you favor us and bring forth our judgment as the light, revered and holy one. God, you are the boss, and we take our orders from you. And we ask only that you see that we've also done good. Even if not only good, we've also done good. But there's another option, which is part of it, which is im kebanim. Are we God's children? God tells us that we're his children. It says, Banim tem laHashem Elokechem, you are God's children. Now, when we talk about God, that's not God's name. God's name is not God. God's name that's like calling a person human, or rabbi, right? It's God is his job. But he has a name. He has a personal name, and he shared that personal name with us at Mount Sinai. Anochi Hashem Elokechem. I am Hashem, your God. And that makes us sort of like God's family, God's children. That we have a personal relationship, a personal connection, not just a professional one. And so this is the question that we have to ask when we're standing before Hashem. Are we standing before Hashem as if before our supervisor at work who has to perform an analysis of our actions and see if we're worthy of a raise or a promotion, or if we just need another year, in the trenches, continuing to do what we've been told to do, to work on getting it right. But if we're Hashem's children, then the question is not how are you doing, but how are you doing? How are you feeling? How are you? And God cares about us. He cares not just about our performance, but of our experience. That's a whole much different and much more intimate analysis. And when we're being judged, it's not being judged if we're good or bad. It's being judged of how can I help you? How can I help you to develop? I want to help you grow. I want you to be thriving and flourishing. So how can we work together to help you grow in the coming year as a loving parent would? As you may know, Rosh Hashanah is a reenactment of the sixth day of creation, in which after we ate the fruit, God confronts us and says, did you eat from the fruit that I told you not to eat from? And here is the very essence of this question of what is God's tone of voice in this, did you eat from the tree? If we are just servants, employees here to do a job, then it can be a very stern, did you eat from the tree I told you not to eat from? Or worse yet, an angry confrontation. Did you eat from the tree I told you not to eat from? Right? And people who have such an experience of being judged by God, it can be terrifying. Who wants to come to shul? Who wants to have that experience? And yet we do, because we have a sense of this is the day when we have to be judged. But it's scary. On the other hand, if we think of Hashem as our parent, oh no, did you eat from the tree I told you not to eat from? It was poisoned. It's okay, I have the antidote, I can help you. But you have to tell me what happened. That kind of a loving, careful, caring mother coming to check in on our beloved child to make sure they're okay. That's a totally different experience. And so my blessing for all of us is that we should get through the professional stuff, the impersonal, and be able to really be God's children, to open our hearts and let Hashem look at us and examine us on Rosh Hashanah, not with a sense of fear or dread in what's going to be the verdict, but in a sense of, here, if I can show God what's really going on inside my heart, then she can help me. Then my parents, today is the conception of the world with both parents, as it were, can really be there for me and help me to grow. And so that's what we can do as an individual, and that's what we can do as a people. And I bless us all to have that opening of heart where we can let God be really part of our family, be trusted, and have that loving trust to let Hashem look at us with love. Shana Tova U'Mtuka, and Shabbat Shalom.